We love getting a chance to talk to Stuart Harris. He's professor of law at Lincoln Memorial University in their Duncan School of Law, and he's the host of your weekly Constitutional. And if you look at this emblem here, what's in between the headsets?
It's the Supreme Court of the United States.
It is.
Because, of course, they all listen to my show, and they do as I
and
suggest.
And they do as you suggest.
That's basically it. I'm the pipeline.
So the show, which is broadcast locally or produced locally at WTS, but heard everywhere, really, is about the Constitution and what happens in the Supreme Court. But so much as well goes right through just near Charlottesville, Virginia.
Right, Montpelier.
Montpelier, home of
James Madison,
the author of the Constitution.
Right.
And you're now talking about something called the Montpelier Summit. What in the world? It sounds fascinating.
It is a really cool thing. Montpelier is a beautiful place.
And
of course, everyone thinks of the mansion. But near the mansion is a group of buildings that actually date to the early 20th century when the DuPont family owned the place. They've been refurbished, and they've created something called the Constitutional Village, where people can come and stay. And the centerpiece of the village is the old carriage house, which has been converted into the Center for the Constitution. And there are a number of on-site educational opportunities. You stayed at the village.
It was incredible.
You went out. Wasn't that great?
It was an amazing opportunity.
Just an amazing opportunity, an amazing place to be. And you need to come out sometime and do one of the seminars. But among the seminars that are there, they have special seminars. They call them summits because they bring together people who are currently in government or who work around government, people like lobbyists and that sort of people, NGOs, that sort of thing. And they say, okay, this is the area of government you work in. What are your problems, and how does the Constitution or a knowledge of the Constitution help you to function better? And recently they had a summit for people who work in and around Congress, staffers, lobbyists, those sorts of people, nonpartisan, both parties, all sides of the spectrum. And they said, okay, there are problems with Congress. It doesn't seem to be functioning very well these days. Let's go back to our roots. Let's talk about the Constitution. Let's talk about the role of Congress within the national government, and let's figure out how to make it work better.
Sounds like a rare and wonderful opportunity to get those brains
fantastic.
together. And you're there at a studio they have built pretty much for you and
well,
for your show.
I like to say so. Yeah, they don't call it the Stuart Harris Studios. They call it the Potter Family Studios because the Potter family gave the money. But I'm happy to say that it's available to me and that we can produce segments of this show here, including our constitutional quiz and including some really interesting interviews. Recently, the interview with a former chief judge of the United States Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit, so one step below the Supreme Court. Right. His name is Paul Michel. And then a professor of political science, her name is Lauren Bell, and they both talked about Congress and how it fits into the federal system. What a great interview. Really interesting stuff, practical stuff.
At an incredible time in the American experiment, as you call it.
Indeed it is.
You are part of the American experiment.
All of us are part of it. That's our tagline.
That's tagline.
That's
listen.
Right.
Stuart Harris is the host of your weekly Constitutional. He is a professor of law as well. Listen to his show Sunday at 3 and then the rebroadcast Tuesday at 8. Be a little smarter when you're done with it. That's usually what happens to me. Stuart, thank you.
Thank you, Josh.